Thank you very much, Sanjeev, for that introduction. I understand I'm being given a few minutes to say something before I had this dialogue with Martin. And I noticed that many of the distinguished friends in the audience come from the financial sector, so let me just say this thing. I have published, as you know, a manifesto during my election campaign, and financial services took up the largest amount of words in my manifesto, because this is such an important sector for Hong Kong, now accounting for 18% of our gross domestic product, employing over 200,000 people. For financial services to continue to flourish, in my view, we need a more proactive government. And so this is what I'm promising the financial services sector, and indeed also other sectors, in the next 5 years of my term, a more proactive government. This proactive government will need to go beyond the traditional roles of providing services and to become a regulator. We also have to be a facilitator, an enabler, and also a promoter. So when you put this into the financial services sector, it means the government has to conduct more G2G businesses, to conduct more bilateral and regional and multilateral agreements that will facilitate Hong Kong's growth as an international financial center. And when I mean promotion, it means that we need to keep on promoting Hong Kong's position and her strategic advantages and the many opportunities arising from the Belt and Road Initiative and this Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, Greater Bay Area for the development of financial services. It also does mean that we need to promote Hong Kong as a livable city to attract more talents in the financial sector. Just many of you sitting here, I'm sure you belong to this category. And then my proactive government will also look very seriously into the fiscal side. So I have advocated that we will adopt a new fiscal philosophy, which in terms of expenditure will see us more ready to invest, to spend in areas which will bring return. And first priority is, of course, education. And I also want to make Hong Kong as a training hub for financial talents. And then, of course, I think many of you will be interested to know about taxes. We are in a very fortunate position sitting on a pretty healthy fiscal reserve. So I am going for not only continuing with a very simple tax regime and low tax rate, but to make our tax system more competitive. Competitiveness is always relative. So that means looking around to see what other economies are doing and try to beat the other economies. So nothing is more effective in maintaining Hong Kong's competitiveness by going for tax reductions. So I promised 2 of these measures in my manifesto, and more will come when I host a tax summit later this year. But the 2 measures that I have promised, one is to introduce a 2-tier profits tax to relieve the burden on the SMEs and startup. So instead of subjecting them to a 16.5% profits tax rate, we will go for lower than 16.5 profits tax rate for the first 2 million profits earned by all corporations, actually. And the second is to give a real push to corporation spending or investment in R&D by offering for the first time what we call super deductions. In other words, we will be incentivizing corporations to spend in this particular area by giving you a tax break more than you have actually spent on R&D in your own businesses. So I hope that you will go away from this session with that very clear message that we want Hong Kong to continue to flourish as an international financial center. And you have, at least for the next 5 years, a proactive government which is very focused in delivering that for the people of Hong Kong. Thank you very much.